Okay, welcome. This video is talking about the use of printf for formatting our prints. So I'll be going between this slide deck and also be looking at a code example. I think it helps to look at the code example. Um, Here we have a main method, and I've declared two variables, one called num1, num called num2. They're both doubles, and they're going to hold the value 1.0000 and 3.0. Here I declare a third variable, and I am dividing num1 and num2 and storing it an answer. So then I print the answer, and then I print another message. And so when I compile and run this, this is my current output. And so what printf allows us to do is to format this so that it doesn't look quite so ugly. So I can specify how many decimal places. Now there are math functions and other things we can do so that we can physically store something different in this variable when we do this division, but I really want to maintain all these significant figures. So if I do subsequent calculations with answer, I want it to hold all this value. It's just when I display it, I want it to look differently. So printf allows us to format, and the most useful part of it is that we can specify the number of decimal spaces. So the first step is to get rid of the println and change it to an f for print format. Now a printf behaves as a print, which means that if when we run this, this line and this line will be on the same line. So we're going to see that, and we can always fix that. So the first step again is to change this to printf. And the next is anywhere you were going to concatenate a variable or some other value, you're now going to use a format specifier inside the string literal to say where you want these variables to be put. So rather than concatenating, we're going to list all the variables at the end, and this string literal is going to show everything that will display, and we'll have a format specifier hold the space for any variables listed over here. So in this case, our variable is answer. It is a double, and the format specifier for doubles and floats is a %f. This is not a mod. This is a format specifier in the string literal. So if I just do this and make sure I can compile and run cleanly, then you'll notice, like I said, this line is all on one line. And so far, I've not improved anything. I guess I have fewer decimal places, but still, I have a lot. So first, in order to get these two to be on two original lines, I can put a \n here. I could have also put it here. So we need to be careful where we place these, right? So this is a pair, and the format specifier for the printf needs to stay together. So now if I compile and run, now I've got them on two lines, and I can play around with some other things I can do with this format specifier. And what I can do is I can specify two decimal places by doing a 0.2. So instead of %f, it's %.2f. Now when I run, I will only have two decimal places of the 0.33. If I wanted 3 decimal places, I could put a 3. And now I get 3 decimal places with it. So this allows us to format decimals. Again, you have to remember to change this to an F. All of a sudden we have commas where we didn't before, and then we're going to list variables here. So I want to show you one variation, or just an additional thing actually that printf does. If I change this to a 2 and then I do the divide, we would expect to see 0.666, and I want to show you that printf will actually round. So when it displays the 3 decimal values, it is going to round the last decimal value. So again, what's actually stored in here is still that 0.66666, as many as it can store. One other thing I want to show you is that if we made a second if we made an answer 1 and an answer 2, and let's say answer 1 equals, and I'm just here going to put a literal, right? Maybe I know I want to do 1 divided by 3. So we've started talking about variables, but sometimes it makes sense to use a literal. So now I have an answer 1 and an answer 2. So I can say answer 1 is going to equal this value, and I'm going to run off the screen, but that's okay. And I will talk about this in just a minute. I want to get rid of this \n, and part of this is because my font's big. But I want to show you how you can do 2 variables on one line. So let's talk about this. Here's my string literal. I encounter here a format specifier. This is a placeholder for the value of the first variable after the commas. So in this case, answer 1 is going to go in this spot. And then it's going to continue with the string literal until it hits another thing that's a format specifier. And so now that it's the second format specifier, it's going to look for the second variable listed after the literal's closed. And then after it puts that in here, then it will advance the cursor. So I've got my semicolon. Let's compile and just run to see what that looks like. So there you can see answer 1 is the 1 divided by 3, which was in this variable, and answer 2 is 0.67. So it's nice, you don't need to use any concatenation with printf. You can put all your output display in one message, and it's almost like hidden codes. But we need to know the correct format specifiers to put in here. And so in the notes, you have in your notes sheet, I think it's the bottom of page 3, maybe 4, but there's 3 slides with printf. And so printf is a formatted print. The best case is for specifying decimal places, and we use it instead of concatenation. It's a different way to format output. So we looked at an example already. And so here's another example. And so again, you can see 2 variables after the comma. You see the printf. And this time, though, we can see one of them is a %.2f. But here, this format specifier is a %d. So it turns out whatever type of variable you're trying to put into this string literal output needs to match the format specifier type. So in this case, num is an integer. And so for integers, we use the letter D. So % is the format specifier, and D indicates I want you to put the first integer into here, which is here. Then after that, we have the string literal message goes out, and then we hit another format specifier, and that's for the next variable, which is X. X is a double, and the specifier for a double is an F. So it's easy to mix up that a double variable does not go into a %d. It goes into %f. So that's one of the first mistakes students make. Here's a list of the specifiers. I think D, F, and S are the only ones I've ever used in a year. So D and F we just talked about. S is just for a string. So if you had a string variable you wanted to list in there. There's additional stuff you can tinker with format specifiers. I am not going to require you to know it, but it can help you do some placement of variables. So I actually want to go back to this type of example, and I want to go to my code and see if I can somewhat recreate that. So let's say this was an integer, and so if I try to compile this, I think it's going to tell me loss of precision. So possible lossy conversion from double to int is warning me that here this is going to be a double, and when I put it in int it's not good. So it's not going to let it even compile in this case. So now if I compile, Everything seems to work fine, right? So let's see what happens when I run it. Oh, so everything compiled fine, but when I ran it, I got this garbage. So all this, it's got all this. So here it says exception and thread, format, illegal format conversion. And it's really hard to find these answers, but you can see in here that it's referencing printf. I know there's a lot of other stuff here. It's got all that format specifier word, which I said, and it turns out all of this is because this variable is now an integer, and so this is no longer valid, %f. So I need a %d for an integer. So it does matter the type of the variable and the type of the format specifier. So I changed that, I recompiled, and now it put in the 0 because 1 divided by 3 integer math is 0, and then answer 2 goes into this one. So that's the basics of printf. So make sure you tinker a little bit and maybe write some of your own code, since that is always the best way to learn. See you next time.